Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Play Frugal Reviews. And tonight we're going to look at Dogfight 1942, a game from CI Games that came out in 2012. And we managed to pick this one up for $2.34, including the base game and the two DLC, Russia Under Siege and Fire Over Africa. So we're right back in our pocket of how much we're kind of looking to spend per game, and so we need to get at least $2.34 of enjoyment out of this game to get our money's worth, and let's see if we can manage to do that. Now, as the title might suggest, you're going to be flying planes in World War II. You'll be doing some dogfighting, shooting down bombers, fighters, but you'll also be doing some things like doing bombing runs and bombing U-boats and other targets, things like that. Now, with the DLC, you'll fly over Russia, you'll fly over Africa. The base game will give you some Atlantic, some Pacific action. So you'll see a variety of scenarios. You'll play fighting using a different variety of aircraft and a different variety of targets, depending on which scenario you're playing. Now, the planes don't handle terribly differently from each other, although some handle better or faster than others. But mainly, the planes fly pretty same because we're not looking for a sim here. This is an arcade shoot 'em up. So if you are looking for an ultra realistic sim where you're having to handle the trim and all that, this is not the droid you're looking for. This is turn and burn, have a good time. The computer's going to handle um, kind of the basics of flight. You just have to throttle up, throttle down, get the thing in the air, shoot. Those are your basic controls here. So let's go ahead and get into her and see where we go. Obviously, we're going to start with single player, but you can see you can do local co-op as well, and you can both play on the same computer. We've got one guy working on the keyboard, one guy working on the controller, or vice versa. And we'll just go ahead and pick one out here. Day at the Beach. So, and you see this one is actually taking place in England over the English Channel, and we'll see what happens here. All right, now see, you can hear, you can change your plane just a little bit, customize it, change the camouflage patterns, something that you like. It doesn't really matter, but it does actually appear in the game for you. And just to show you that you can, I went ahead and changed a couple of them. We're going to do an easy difficulty just to kind of get a feel for how it flies. And we'll go ahead and get into the gameplay, and I will shut up while we do.
Get him off me! Get him off! Need a hand, Hawkins? What does it bloody look like? I've got him!
Alright, and now we're in. So now what we're going to do is, you can go left, right, pull the nose up, push the nose down. But we don't mess around too much here because we've got live action here.
Hurry it up, will ya? One more for the You're clear, Hawkins. Appreciate it. Good work, Lion 3. Keep it up.
Oh, we've got lots of bogeys up. Where are they? Oh, they're everywhere. Okay. Here we go. Let's pick one out. And there's one. There's one. Pick another one. You can see we're tallying them up. As you go, obviously, you're not going to be in any kind of realistic scenario shooting down 10 or 20 planes in a given scenario, but in an arcade shoot 'em up, why not?
I'm being torn to pieces here. Another Jerry down. Excellent. We're turning the tide.
bad guy down. Alright. Next target. Alright.
Not sure I can take any more.
Let's go get this guy out here by himself.
Bogey down. That's it, chaps. We'll drive them off in no time.
Alright. Alright.
Not sure I can take any more.
Alright.
Down. Line
Really?
wing, there's trouble at Dover.
Slowly starting to make some progress here.
What kind of trouble? I don't rightly know. Explosions at the harbour or something. Understood. Line lead out. Lions, we're heading for the White
Alright,
House.
so
Line 3, take the lead.
we got a new mission here.
Tiger wing, we're disengaging. Cover our backs.
Alright, now
Line wing, we've got you covered.
we're going to be
Good
going
luck.
after a U-boat. It's going to come up here in a second. And we're going to switch to bombing runs here.
What the hell? Is that a bloody U-boat? This is impossible. They clearly don't think so. Ready bombs, Lion wing.
Alright, so we're going to try to do some slow attacks here. There's our target. We're going to bring him in. And we're going to line him up. And alright, we did a little bit of damage, but we're gonna scoot right around, make another run at him.
They're going under. We have to hit them before it's too
Alright,
late.
that was a good solid hit there.
Line 3, hit him.
So let's go around. Let's try one more swing at him. See what we can do here.
Ah, we got company. E-boats, watch it, lads. They've got
Alright.
E-boats. Ha, they're coming back up. Must have hit them where it counts.
Alright.
Excellent. Let's go for the kill.
Alright, let's fly in. Bring it a little down. Alright, looks like we're a little bit off there. Did some damage, but nothing big. I think everyone needed a shot at this. Alright, we are having all kinds of difficulty here. They are bringing AA in.
Watch. Yes, we got them. The first E-boat is down. Look, the E-boats are on the run. Let's send them a
Okay,
goodbye
so
present. A nice rocket or two should do the trick.
turn her around, get these bonus objectives here, take out these little boats. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, let's switch bombs to rockets. And give her another ring here. There's our boys right there. Alright, came a little bit out of control there. Let's swing it around, see what we can do. There we go. Let's try her again.
One E-boat left. Go for it, lads.
Alright, we got the last one.
Nice work, everyone. Aye. Good effort, lads.
You can see the graphics are a little bit jittery. We're running them on highest possible graphics settings. Now, what we got to do here is we got to bring her in for a landing. If you crash, you have to do the mission again. So we want to try to make sure we don't do that. It's not too difficult. The computer's handling all the landing gear and whatnot. You just kind of have to line up the runway, and get her on the ground. There we go. Mission success. That's pretty typical of what you're going to see from the entire game. Various different missions, various different number of targets, all those sorts of things. But generically, that's what you're looking at. So, is this the type of game for you? If you like that gameplay, then yes, absolutely, this is, and it's definitely worth a $2 spend on it. So, what would we give it a rating wise overall? I think overall, I'm going to have to give it an 8. Um, the graphics are from 2012, so we do have to take that into account. And there's about 20 missions, but once you get beyond that 20 missions, as you saw, they don't take very long, each individual one of them. You can obviously go back on harder difficulty levels and try to get higher stars and things like that. But it's essentially the same kind of gameplay from one to the next. So that the replayability is not going to be incredibly high. You're not you. It's one of those that you might play it for a little while, put it away, come back in a few months just to have some fun with it. But it's not something you're going to play solid probably for a month and just say, well, I'm doing nothing but this. You're definitely going to want to move on. Now, the Steam reviews on this are mixed. They're at 68% positive, but most of the negative reviews have to do with people who are expecting Sims or expecting, as opposed to arcade, or they were expecting, you know, updated somehow 2019 graphics from a 2012 game. Um, it is what it is, and I think, like I said, for $2, I definitely think it's worth your time to check out if you like this type of game. If not, obviously, feel free to check out any of the other games that we've reviewed so far. Leave comments below as other games you'd like us to review that might be more up your alley. In the meantime, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if this video helped you decide whether or not to buy Dogfight 1942. Thanks for joining us here on this episode of Play Frugal Reviews, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy.